Okay, so today's video is the last one before the big fight tomorrow. Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk. I am live, 9 a.m., maybe 10 a.m. PST for the watch party. You guys do not want to miss. The undisputed, unified heavyweight champion will be crowned. Watch the fights here with me on the W.A.D.E concept. But today is my final prediction. No further ado. Who wins? Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk. The breakdown. Let's go. All right, so I just watched the final weigh-in, and I wanted to wait to make this video until I saw that last weigh-in because this fight week has been mind games from both sides of the plate. You've seen Usyk in the open workout turn orthodox and start throwing punches out of a right-handed stance. You saw Fury see that and then flip southpaw in his workout and start throwing punches out of southpaw position. You saw Usyk watching Fury like he has for the last couple of years. And now, in the weigh-ins today, Tyson Fury, while he's ignored a lot of this stuff leading up to this point, he's ignored Usyk, he's said he's a short cruiserweight, and he's given him his credit, yes, in saying Usyk may be the toughest match of his career, but he hasn't really gotten that one-on-one, face-to-face look at Usyk and showed him what he's about to be in the ring with until just now at the weigh-ins. You saw Fury put his forehead on Usyk and both guys get into a shoving match. It's real. It's only 24 hours away. And with the mind games being there, listen, Tyson Fury was never going to out-mind game Oleksandr Usyk. This is a guy from war-torn Ukraine, a guy that has fought in actual wars. The Furies call themselves fighting men, and they are to a degree, even though don't know what John Fury is doing this week, headbutting people and trying to get a rise out of Usyk's team. Yes, it's gotten personal. Yes, the teams don't like each other, but you can't penetrate a steel trap like the mind of a man that's been through war. I don't think that those things are going to work for Tyson. I don't see the mind games being anything that shakes Oleksandr Usyk. I just don't see that happening. So with that aside, Tyson Fury, off of a embarrassing performance versus Francis Ngannou, off of a moment in his career where he could have said, you know what, I just don't have the love for this anymore. I'm gonna hang it up. It's over with. I don't want to box. I don't want to commit to being the best in the world, because quite frankly, he got exposed in that Francis fight for not training as well as he should have, for not taking Francis as seriously as he should have, and for just boxing for money at that point. And yes, Tyson talks about legacy and how he doesn't care about it and belts and none of that. I think this is a pride thing for Tyson to show everyone that he is the best in the world. And honestly, it's the perfect thing that could have happened to Tyson. Looking back on it now, the fight versus Francis Ngannou was just a microcosm of him continuously being successful, while whether the opponent wasn't on his level or the training wasn't at a level it needed to be world class, he was just able to get by. This fight, he could not do that, and I think he knows it based on the fact that he got dropped and based on the fact that Usyk has run through the heavyweight division. He's beat Anthony Joshua twice and done so while not only outboxing him but putting leather on him, big time shots as well. Tyson Fury knows that he had to show up in the best shape of his life. He had to show up in the most prepared fashion he could for this moment, and he has to show the world that that Francis Ngannou fight is not his lasting legacy. As much as he doesn't like to say that, I think that's the truth. That I also think, and people are going to call me crazy, he needs to be defensively aware, where Tyson is credited with his ability to defend punches or his elusiveness for his size. I don't think he can play the hands down, chin jutted forward head movement game with Usyk, because at some point, the way Usyk throws punches and the volume at which he throws punches, that'll get you in trouble. His hands, in my opinion, need to be up if he's in range. He can't play this low hands game and trying to just jab his way to clinch. I know, again, we'll reference the Daniel Dubois fight, but even Anthony Joshua, if you look back at their fight, landed significant body shots on Usyk and was actually able to get him in positions where he would trap him in certain instances in the corner or on the ropes and throw those 2-3 punches and get him to land. Problem is, couldn't really capitalize after that, where Usyk would slide out of range and you're frozen, and then we reset the action and Usyk does what he does. Another thing I think Usyk can take advantage of, again, is the fact that Tyson does mitigate his own range from time to time. He's got an 85-inch reach, but sometimes he'll fight you in the pocket like he's 6'2". So again, that's just tailor-made for Usyk to be able to work inside and change angles and get to places quicker than the big man with the longer reach can react to, even if he's a little bit more agile than you'd think of a regular heavyweight. Usyk's not a regular heavyweight. He's a natural cruiserweight, and he's come up to heavyweight with those same skills and that same speed and quickness. Those are the moments, again, where I think Tyson is in the most danger, is when the action gets very close and little meticulous things have to be done. The angle switches, the feet, the balance, the ability to throw combinations off of that. moving in those small spaces is where Usyk's going to have an advantage, and I think that's, again, where Usyk needs to be and needs to thrive if he wants to win this fight. Another thing that's going to be an interesting factor in this is that Usyk is 233, which is bigger than he normally is at heavyweight, but he does tend to ramp up as the fight goes on. So the early rounds could be, a little bit of the chess game, and Tyson Fury stealing a couple at least of the early rounds for Usyk to do the Floyd Mayweather thing and download the information, right? But as the fight ramps up and as it continues to go, you would think Usyk is going to go heavy volume. Like I talked about earlier, 50 to 60 punches per round. You have to think the more volume he throws, if he's able to do it in a very creative and clever way that doesn't get him continuously getting clinched and stifled by Tyson in close, and doesn't leave him at range where he's just eating jabs the entire night, that will have an effect on Tyson as the fight goes on. It's not that Tyson doesn't have the tank for 12 rounds, but this is not a regular 12. This is not a 12 versus Deontay Wilder, who is very stagnant and won't move. This isn't Derek Chisora. It's not Francis Ngannou, where you're throwing 10 punches around and getting to rest in the in-between. Usyk is going to work and work and work. And that recipe could spell disaster for Tyson, who is a bit of a jab, right hand reset fighter. So it'll be interesting to see how Tyson deals with the volume, but I think Usyk absolutely has to have it. Outwork Fury, outbox Fury, and put him in positions late in the fight to potentially overwhelm him with volume and look for that stoppage. No one's ever stopped Oleksandr Usyk. No one's ever stopped Tyson Fury, but Tyson has been dropped due to either a little bit of showboating or lack of defensive responsibility or a bit of fatigue. Like late in the Deontay Wilder fights, a bit of fatigue and his hands being lower gets him in trouble. So Usyk's going to have his openings, absolutely. And again, we're talking about a guy that has that the word quit doesn't make sense to. He's not. I mean, again, we're talking about a guy that doesn't know what the word quit means. So Usyk has the championship mentality to go 12 and in the later rounds start pouring it on. So with that being said, my pick for this fight, either guy I think can win a decision. Honestly, it's probably the smarter pick to think Usyk's going to win a decision because of his volume per round, but a knockout from Usyk is potentially on the table as well. And just as I say that, for whatever reason in my head, I can't get out of it that Tyson Fury, off of that Francis Ngannou performance, off of that embarrassment that was that fight, and the fact that everyone said for forever, because of, honestly, Tyson's own doing, that he did not want any parts of Usyk, that Usyk was his boogeyman, that he didn't want that fight, so he was manipulating how the negotiations were going and he was running. I think in his mind, this is the one that takes him over the top. This is the one that shows the world Tyson Fury was and is one of this generation's great heavyweights. And for that reason, plus the fact that Tyson is 6'7", and he came in a little bit more trim, which shows me he's taken this 12-round mentality seriously, and that he's going to have to be very mobile and variable in this fight. His jab is going to be super important. And yes, while the body work is important, the risk of doing it may get Tyson in exchanges that are going to hurt him. So he has to pick his spots there, and he has to, like I said, be variable, be fluid in this fight, clinch where he needs to, and I think Tyson Fury wins the decision. So if you're a betting man, then my bookie code WADE may be a big help for you, because you can put that money on Usyk and probably be right the way this thing goes. But listen, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I can easily see Oleksandr Usyk winning a decision. Honestly, potential knockout there. Again, I know it's plus 500 right now, but the way sometimes Tyson's defense is him only relying on his head movement with his hands low is very problematic. And Usyk is just a master manipulator of angles and footwork. So could go either way. I'm taking Tyson Fury by decision, but you guys let me know in the comments who wins this fight and why am I completely wrong. We're less than 24 hours away. I cannot wait. I'll see you tomorrow morning live. I'm going to say 9:30, maybe 10 a.m. PST. Do not miss it, because there's only one question left that I don't have the answer to, and that is, who wins this fight? Tyson Fury or Oleksandr Usyk? Tomorrow morning live from Saudi Arabia. Guess we'll find out.